Hello, thank you for joining us on Nationwide today. I am Ogochkuka Ona. We are live in Abuja. Welcome. And we begin from the INEC headquarters, where Professor Mahmoud Yakubu concluded his tenure, second tenure as INEC chairman today. After 10 years in office, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu handed over to the INEC National Commissioner, May Agbamuche Mbu, as acting INEC chairman, pending the appointment of a new INEC chairman by the president.
Very good. Promotion demi. Did I pronounce it correctly? Promotion demi. How is it? Educated? Very good. Babalola? Fundo? Did you like yours? Life best.
The handing over was made during a meeting with resident electoral commissioners. We bring you details in our subsequent bulletin. Now, Senate today reconvened plenary after 10 weeks of annual recess. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, while presiding, urged his colleagues to be steadfast in the discharge of their constitutional responsibilities to make the federation stronger, governance efficient, and democracy more inclusive. He also read communications from President Tinubu seeking confirmation of appointees into agencies of government and his assent to key legislations, including bill amending the Nigeria Police Trust Fund. Senate passed 2 bills for second reading, just as it concurred to another from the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan also joined her colleagues at plenary, having served the 6 months of suspension over alleged violation of Senate standing rules. Now, the House of Representatives says it will expedite the process of amending the 1999 Constitution as well as bills tailored towards security and electoral reforms. Speaker of the House, Abbas Tajuddin, stated this at resumption of plenary after the annual parliamentary recess. He revealed that 87 constitution amendment bills are currently awaiting further debates and voting on the floor of the House for onward transmission to the state assemblies before the end of December this year. The Speaker assures all that the legislature will produce a new electoral act that will stand the test of time to lower the cost of conducting elections and establish clear timelines for resolving electoral disputes. At Tuesday's plenary, 3 new members were sworn in by the Speaker. They are Omosede Igbinedion, representing Ovia Federal Constituency of Edo State, Joseph Bagudu, representing Chikun Kajuru Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, and Mokhtar Rabiu, representing Garki Babura Federal Constituency of Jigawa State. In view of the delay in completion of the Calabar-Itu Federal Highway, despite huge funds released by the federal government, the Senate and House of Representatives Joint Committee on Works, as part of their legislative duties, has pronounced a state of national emergency on the road, calling for public hearing after embarking on an oversight inspection on the road. Paul Eber reports that the committee also visited the Cross River end of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway under construction.
Many years, the state of the Calabar-Itu Federal Highway has been a thing of concern, and despite federal government release of funds, it has been a nightmare for commuters as many sections handled by various contractors are yet to be completed. This, the Senate and House of Representatives Joint Committee on Works on Oversight after interaction with contractors and inspection of different sections of the route, expressed displeasure over the quality of some sections of the route and the delay in completion being attributed to change from asphalt to concrete pavement.
We need a national emergency on this road, and as a parliament, we are calling for a public hearing on this matter. How do you get from Cross River into the other parts of the South without this road? We were privileged to be able to clear the road and move past the traffic, but what's going to happen to the average Nigerian?
This has been an eye-opener for my colleagues. They've seen the condition, and this is what Cross Riverians and people from Akwa Ibom go through day in, day out. There is no road in Nigeria that is in this condition. Exactly. We know that Mr. President is an action president. He would not want to see this sort of thing happening.
Please, make government take care of this road and work it very well. We beg.
The work is so slow. They've done some part of the road.
The committee also visited the terminating point of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway in Akankpa, Cross River State, with 1 kilometer of stone base already done, and expressed satisfaction.
I was doubting the project, but I have seen it now, and I think I can report it anywhere that yes, a wonderful job is being done here.
Be patient with us. The renewal hope of Mr. President is coming to pass.
They urge the people to unite and support the project for the prosperity of the South and the nation. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
And still staying with the legislature, the House of Representatives is examining opportunities and challenges of digital payments with a view to safeguarding the financial system as well as guiding key players in developing a balanced framework for Nigeria's digital economy. This revelation came out during the inauguration of the ad hoc committee on the economic, regulatory and security implications of cryptocurrency and POS operations in Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide reports.
Globally, financial systems are being reshaped by technology. In Nigeria, cryptocurrency and POS operations have grown rapidly, creating new opportunities for commerce, financial inclusion and innovation. However, alongside these opportunities lie serious risks such as cybercrime, fraud, money laundering, terrorism financing, and regulatory uncertainty.
We are not here to stifle innovations, but innovation without safeguards can destabilize economies, empower criminals, and erode public trust. Our task is to ensure that Nigeria harnesses with the benefits of digital finance while minimizing the risks. As a parliament, we need a legislation to guide the operations of these very important digital financial transactions.
This prompted the need for enforcement of a legislative framework as preventive and regulatory measures.
With this, it is expected that your terminal will be restricted with a 10-meter radius, and it cannot, within that range that is registered, it cannot operate.
It does not only help us to safeguard the space, to restore confidence in even other investors that might want to bring in their platform to come to operate officially in Nigeria.
The largest chunk of transactions globally goes through visual assets, and that is where people move money. It has become in vogue. One also wonders why Nigeria is just waking up, but however, they say no time is late.
The other committees are assuring Nigerians that it will work hand in hand with the Central Bank, the SEC, NDIC, NFIU, EFCC, ICPC, the Nigerian Police, and other key institutions to ensure that digital finance in the country is a force for growth, not a tool for subversion. In Abuja, Joshua Ogunjide, NTA News.
In positioning African fashion, culture and heritage as pillars of continental prosperity and defining Africa's cultural future, the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture and Tourism and the Creative Economy is engaging with the Lai Labode Heritage Foundation to develop African into a $500 billion fashion epicenter. Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi reports.
While African fashion and cultural expressions inspire global trends, the economic returns, institutional frameworks, and cultural sovereignty that should accompany these influences are often absent. The Afro-Linganza vision emerges as a direct response to this reality a structured continental framework designed to reposition African fashion, heritage and cultural enterprise as engines of prosperity, soft power, diplomacy and sustainable development.
Africa can move from a $30 billion fashion economy to about $500 billion. But to do that, we must be very, very, very creative. We decided that Nigeria will establish for Africa a confederation of African fashion, where the protocols and policies for all countries in Africa will be established, where Africa can come together in a very deliberate way to see that we can actually move from a $30 billion economy to $500 billion.
You know, we still have not only to present a roadmap as to how we can hit $1 billion increase in the GDP, but we actually have to deliver it by 2030. And I think with fashion and deliberately using activities such as the one that you have presented is a way that we can do it.
The Minister of Art, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musa Musawa, also inaugurated the committee to drive this vision into fusion. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ogwanyi, NTA News.
All formalities for the comeback of the popular drama series Kokro are done, having completed. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that Africa's largest TV network, NTA, and partners put pen to paper, opening the pages of a renewed nostalgic drama series in the spirit of the 21st century.
And the people as they go by.
It's a drama series that the beatruths of this world thrill.
And don't play any tricks on your uncle.
The soundtrack of the living legend. This studio may not have hosted the play, but its new version is being hatched here.
As you know, NTA is #1, and we would like to, as much as possible, whatever we bring on air, to be #1. So this is not going to be different. And we are going to give it all our best in terms of picture quality, audio, in fact, the artists. And if you look at the producers, these are people that are so respected.
This series is still relevant, it's still good for this time, which is why we want to introduce the younger generations to something that we can call a national treasure. And we have found the ideal partners to do this work with after, looking at a large number of expressions of interest where we had called industry practitioners together to let them know of our plans.
Beatrice the character will still be Beatrice the character.
The new brains behind the play are mindful of the fact that they have to capture the new generation and also put the older ones glued to their TV screens.
Ultimately, what we expect to serve Nigerians is a visual feast that is very visceral, very entertaining, captivating, and orally and sonically really powerful.
Are you also going to take advantage of the new media?
Oh, absolutely, yes. So it goes out first run on NTA, and then after that, it goes into syndication or goes onto the streamers. We're trying to put it out as much as possible, and we would employ and deploy both social media and new media in its promotions and even in its deployment. So
reimagining the story is going to be very interesting because according to the DG, he has assigned or he has insisted that we do it in a way that attracts a whole new generation of viewers to bring a lot of eyeballs to NTA. And so we're very excited about that opportunity because what that gives us the opportunity to do is, look into the dynamics of what storytelling, what are being reimagined these days, and how do you tell the story to pull in a whole generation of young audience that have probably just heard about the name Kokro Adon, but really do not have an understanding.
The document seals the deal. What follows must be a play that stands the test of time, like its predecessor did. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide. Hingino is back. Okay, let's have contributions from that zone.
Chukwuka, and welcome to Lagos. Ending ignorance on cerebral palsy and social stigmatization of those living with the condition, as well as a deliberate action plan to help them actualize their aspirations, is the thrust of an awareness walk spearheaded by non-governmental organizations. Joel Pupola reports that the initiative targets grassroots where the level of discrimination is still high.
It is not just a routine walk. The mission is to achieve zero bias of persons living with cerebral palsy and also draw attention to their plights. The walk created a platform to sensitize members of the public and purge their mindset of the superstitious beliefs about the congenital disorder. Residents, traders, and business owners in Igodo Ikotu local council development area were enlightened on the need to see those living with cerebral palsy as an integral part of the society.
They should not stigmatize against people with special needs because they are first human. And there's nothing their parents did or did not do that brought them into this condition. Cerebral palsy, for instance, is a medical condition, and it could also be avoided, though there is no known cause. But I know that as research is ongoing, there will be improvements.
Everybody that they are part of us, we are together. And it's also complementing the work of the government, saying that all should not be left to the government alone. There are some that we need people in the society, community, coming together, putting things right in our community.
The collaboration between the non-governmental organizations has been fruitful, with more awareness about the plights of those living with cerebral palsy. At a lecture to climax the walk, the causes and management of cerebral palsy, which is a congenital disorder of movements, muzzle tone or posture, was explained.
So examples of them like perinatal, that's during pregnancy. We have epilepsy in the mother. Now, while the mother is giving birth to the baby, there are some things that can cause it at that point too. We have infections, meningitis, encephalitis that can cause it.
For the non-governmental organizations and other stakeholders, achieving societal acceptance is an advocacy that must be consistently pursued. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Now turning to Women Matters, community-driven actions to support vulnerable women and assist survivors of gender-based violence to embrace attitudinal change is key to achieving gender equality. Women Aid Collective, WACOL, a human rights body, is leveraging public enlightenment to bring to the fore the inherent danger of violence against women. Joel Pupola again has the report.
Gender-based violence has always been a limitation against the potential of women and girls. Women Aid Collective, with its tentacles across various parts of the country, is using this workshop, which brought together Christian women and cultural leaders, to reverse the ugly trend and strengthen responses to gender-based violence. Founding Director Women Aid Collective Professor Joy Zaylor stressed the need to challenge norms and stereotypes as well as other discrimination against women and girls.
So the project seeks to empower Christian women and women leaders in culture to promote gender equality, prevent gender-based violence, and achieve social transformation. Women and women leaders of culture, they play a vital role in their respective communities, families, churches.
Ending the culture of silence, which encourages women to speak up against abuses, and providing support systems for victims, were highlighted by other speakers.
The fact that we are upholding women's rights does not mean that we want to bring men under the table, because it is not right for anybody to be thrown aside to be marginalized. We are just saying that men are human, just like women are human, and we are both valued by God and the Lord Jesus Christ.
And I'm ensuring you that we are going to step it down to all the 36 local chapters in Lagos State. We are going to do that for the women to even know their rights.
The consensus is for all relevant stakeholders to cascade the message down to the grassroots to achieve the much-needed change. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
That's it from here. It's now back to Ogo Chukwuka for the continuation of the news. Ogo, over to you.
Thank you, Hingino, for your contributions. I'm back here with more than 70% of inmates in correctional centers across the country said to be those awaiting trial. The High Court of the Federal Capital Territory and other stakeholders are training personnel in the justice sector on effective implementation of the non-custodial sentencing. The training is aimed at enhancing participants' understanding of the legal frameworks and guidelines on measures of non-custodial sentencing in order to reduce overcrowding of correctional facilities, thereby promoting rehabilitation of offenders.
The Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 made the laudable provisions about the non-custodial measures. But the problem we have been having is the implementation. We have had so many trainings and conferences on non-custodial measure, but none have been geared towards the implementation, proper implementation. So this is the one that we are having today, so that at the end of the day we'll go to the field and ensure it's properly implemented.
I believe there are quite a number of inmates that should not even have been sent to the custodial facilities if the adoption of non-custodial measures, is increased, and it's one of the outcomes we seek to achieve from this training and even going forward.
So the whole idea today is how to help the officers, understand, train them with the use of non-custodial measures and help them, because a lot of them are liaison officers who are going to be like the liaison between the court and the people that have been handed down the non-custodial measures.
The Supreme Court has commenced adjudication on the matter between the Osun State Government and Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice over the legality or otherwise of the funds allegedly allotted to factional local government chairmen in the state. Olabode Arewa reports that the suit is in response to who are the legitimate council chairmen in that state.
In November 2022, 20 chairmen emerged from a local government election conducted by the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission, OSEC. The legality of that poll had been in dispute, prompting the PDP-led state government to mount legal challenge to the emergence of the chairmen from the APC. Attorney General for Osun State approached the Supreme Court, praying to invalidate the APC LGA chairman from assuming office. The Minister of Justice is the sole defendant. Although issues have been joined between the two parties, counsel to Osun State Government, Musibao Adetumbi, withdrew his earlier suit and filed a fresh suit based on some new developments in the matter. In the fresh suit filed by the Osun State Government, the plaintiff alleged receipt of a letter said to have emanated from the AGF's office that some of the LGA's monthly allocations should be disbursed to the chairman from the APC faction. Osun State as plaintiff told the court that although the purported disbursement had been stopped through a court order, the government wants the rest to be preserved from being dissipated or spent.
We've canvassed what we believe to be the law, the position of the law, and we trust in the Almighty God, we trust in the wisdom of their lordships.
The Supreme Court, having received all the processes in the case, it adjourned the matter sine die for judgment. From the Supreme Court, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Let's now join Mohammed Umar Ajengi in our Kaduna Network Center for more reports.
Here in Kaduna, as well, scarcity begins to bite in some parts of the country. Residents of Kaduna are calling on the federal government to take decisive action against the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasan, accusing them of actions that could sabotage the nation's economy. And this call was made during a peaceful protest organized by Kaduna residents in collaboration with Partners for National Economic Progress, PANEP. Haruna Muhammad reports.
Carrying placards with various inscriptions, the demonstrators acknowledged the efforts being made by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration in the energy sector. They also called for urgent measures to protect indigenous investments in the oil sector. Investment, they said, is vital to ending the fuel importation and sustaining the progress recorded so far.
We feel that this is a matter of economic salvation for Nigeria, and that is why this movement is going across the country. to sensitize the media and the people to say that this is our own and we will not let it down. In fact, it is time to end petroleum products importation into Nigeria. That is the way to encourage existing refinery and encourage investment in local refineries.
The protesters further advocated for stronger collaboration among key stakeholders, emphasizing that such unity is crucial to driving the renewed hope agenda and revitalizing the nation's economy. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Kano State government has distributed more than 1,000 toolkits to 180 women farmers as part of major initiative to promote home gardening among local communities. This idea is in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda to empower communities to produce enough food and create wealth among them. Suraj Abdullahi reports.
This effort aims to promote sustainable agriculture, improve household nutrition, and create employment opportunities, especially for women with limited access to farmland. The initiative is designed to support the successful implementation of the SAPS project by equipping households with essential gardening toolkits, including organic fertilizer, seedlings, and pesticides. Beneficiaries are expected to establish home gardens that will not only provide continuous access to fresh, nutrient-rich foods, but also generate income through the sale of surplus produce.
A strong immune system of a child, and additional resources and income for mother, and ultimately, the more resilient community. This is about restoring dignity, building self-reliance, and ensuring that no family is left behind in our collective journey toward food security and better nutrition.
We hope that this will increase in household production of nutrient-dense vegetables, which contributes to reduce the level of malnutrition, especially among young children under the age of 5.
By focusing on nutrition-sensitive agricultural intervention, the program reinforces federal government's commitment to enhancing food security and boosting livelihoods across priority value chain in Nigeria. Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
And that's our contributions from this end nationwide continues in our Abuja studio. Gochukuka will take it up from here. Gochukuka, over to you.
Thank you, Mohammed. As part of the 2025-2026 school enrollment and back-to-school campaign, Borno State Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation has commissioned and upgraded 5 junior day secondary schools to senior secondary status across Maiduguri, Mafa and Jere local government areas. In collaboration with SUBEB, Agile and UNICEF, the initiative led by Commissioner Lawan Abba Wakilbe proves government's continued commitment to increasing school enrollment and further reducing the number of out-of-school children in the state. Pauline Kujevana has the details.
Since Governor Babakana Umar Zulum assumed office in 2019, the number of out-of-school children in Borno State has dropped drastically from 2.2 million to just 800. The administration now targets an even further reduction before the end of his second term. Speaking during the official launch of the enrollment drive and back-to-school campaign at Government Day Secondary School Dala Lawanti in Jere local government area, Commissioner of Education Lawan Abba Wakilbe called on stakeholders, including traditional institutions, parents, and teachers, to support government's effort to achieving educational goals. The commissioner also visited Al-Jilari Community School, where he commissioned 10 newly constructed classroom blocks and 2 toilet facilities under the Agile project in partnership with Borno State government, pledging to enroll the students in the conditional cash transfer program and provide computer systems. Similar infrastructure was inaugurated at Government Day Secondary School Malum Umarti in Maiduguri. At Malaki Aruri Secondary School in Mafa local government area, Wakilbe acknowledged Agile impact and addressed students and teachers, encouraging them to remain committed to education. At Mafoni Liberty, now upgraded to a senior secondary school as well, the commissioner praised the school's enrollment progress and pledged to provide solar power, computers, and science laboratory equipment.
These are all out-of-school children that have completed junior secondary school and cannot secure access into senior secondary school. So this project has now given them access. What we now need to work on is retention and improve the quality of their learning.
They need this kind of schools. We are expanding schools, especially those who are graduating from the junior secondary, they are not having the senior.
The 5 schools upgraded and inaugurated with the support of Agile and UNICEF are part of a broader initiative by Governor Zulum to secure a better future for children in Borno State. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
And to get more information on how government is making sure that pupils and students stay in school despite the social, economic and security challenges they face, let's now return to Pauline Kujevana live. All right, Pauline, you are on. Tell us.
All right, thank you very much and welcome to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Yes, education in Borno State is steadily moving to an envious heights in Borno State. And this is because the state government has put everything in place to ensure that the ideology of Boko Haram, that Western education is forbidden, did not hold in the state. And as such, infrastructures such as this are being put in place across the local government area to entice the children and, of course, the parents to enroll their children in school. The school campaign drive of Back to School initiative of the state government is one of such a program designed to also entice children to school and pupils as well. If you look at what is happening in Borno State in terms of reshaping and, of course, transforming the education sector, the government has deliberately built staff quarters for teachers and as well train more of them within and outside Nigeria to, acquire more knowledge on how to impact positively to changing the narrative of education in Borno State. So far, the situation is improving despite recent attacks by Boko Haram in some local government areas in the state. The government remains resolute and committed to go back to those communities to rebuild the infrastructures destroyed and, of course, the school to ensure that these pupils and students go back to school for a better future for them.
Chair Pauline, and it's also heartwarming to note that the government is also putting teachers into consideration by taking care of them. Thank you very much for your contribution. Now, a 3-day conference for African broadcast journalists got underway in Accra, Ghana, to brainstorm on journalism, artificial intelligence, and monetization. The conference, organized by British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, is designed to bridge technological gap between key players in the industry while presenting his paper entitled Audio 2025. Richard Knight, Director, Audio BBC Studio, said BBC has commercialized its studio, making it biggest, where private content creators are taking advantage of their services. Participants from Nigeria and other sister African countries are taking part in the program. Correspondent Aminu Ishaq Abbas reports that the conference provides platform for participants to come up with solutions to mitigate problems impeding media growth in Africa. And now in Kano, reporters, Kannywood stars and digital creators came together to highlight key development strides transforming communities across the north. The conversation focused on how federal initiatives are reshaping lives and driving regional growth under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. Salisu reports.
In this hall, Kannywood stars, journalists and social media influencers from Kano converge and united by a common goal to spotlight the development strides of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration in northern Nigeria. Since assuming office, President Tinubu has rolled out a series of initiatives targeting long-standing infrastructural and social challenges across the nation. And in the north, the impact is becoming visible, from rehabilitated highways and revitalized railway lines to youth empowerment and social intervention programs. Progress is steadily unfolding, powered by federal government support.
The renewal of estates, the lower food prices, the ongoing 140 kilometer by 2, which is 280 kilometer of Abuja Kaduna Kano Expressway, and improved security in northern Nigeria.
The gathering in Kano serves as a platform to review, track, and promote both completed and ongoing projects, efforts that are driving economic growth and transforming livelihoods across northern communities. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
All right, let's head now to Enugu for more reports. And Comfort is our guide. Hello, Comfort.
And welcome to Enugu Network Center. The federal government has enacted several food security policies which aim to ensure the availability, accessibility, and affordability of food to address nutrition problems and enhance food safety. In line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture has commenced the distribution of farm inputs in Enugu to boost agricultural production. Grace Wilson Eze reports.
The initiative in agriculture is a federal government's program targeted at transforming the agricultural sector through mechanization, empowering women and youth, as well as strengthening food security. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security reiterated President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's resolve to revamp the agricultural sector, boost food production, and guarantee food security for the nation.
We commit to ensuring that our sectoral program and initiative of government in the sector are completely aligned to actualize the potential priority. As such, federal and state governments continually engaging towards addressing all issues affecting food security objectives.
While distributing the farm inputs to the farmers, State Coordinator of Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Ngozi Nwakeze, tasked beneficiaries to make judicious use of the farm inputs, stating that the ministry has put mechanisms in place to monitor the program.
We want you to make good use of it so that at the end of next year we'll have bountiful harvest. We don't want a situation we'll give you these items, you take it home and keep it in your house.
Applauded the federal government for the gesture and pledged to maximize the gains of the Renewed Hope initiative in agriculture.
I'm very, very happy. I want to thank the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. The minister, I want to thank him for the gifts.
We thank God the state government do the first go back to little. We're able to do, but this one now can boost a lot to us. Can go back.
With about 28 cooperative societies farmers participating in the farm input distribution in Enugu, it is hoped that the Renewed Hope initiative on food security will deliver on its mandate of boosting food production in Nigeria. In Enugu, Grace Wilson Eze, NTA News.
As part of efforts to improve road safety, reduce travel time and costs, the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, in Enugu, has flagged off Operation Safeguard the Roads, a direct response of the agency to the perennial challenges of road deterioration, environmental threats, and rising wave of unemployment in Nigeria. Chimaroke Ubu reports that the flag-off exercise was held at the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway.
Federal Road Maintenance Agency's Operation Safeguard the Roads is a nationwide initiative of the Managing Director, Chukwuemeka Abasi, aimed at maintaining federal roads and creating employment opportunities for young Nigerians. The program aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, with focus is on maximizing existing road assets while contributing to socio-economic growth and poverty alleviation. Flagging off the exercise in Enugu, the Federal Road Maintenance Engineer Enugu said the initiative aims to improve road safety, reduce travel time and costs, create temporary employment while addressing vegetation control, drainage management, no repairs.
This is part of the routine maintenance that the new management has revived. And if we keep this on, it will help us and help the road users to use a safer, more security guaranteed roads and more pothole-free roads.
The Southeast Zonal Director of FEMA represented maintained that the program is a crucial step towards addressing the challenges faced by motorists and traders who rely on major road corridors for daily movement of people and goods.
To your cooperation with the people working and every other person putting hands in deck, I believe that this wonderful initiative of the agency, we are going to make it to succeed so that more and more of it will come.
FEMA is a Nigerian government agency responsible for the maintenance and repairs of federal roads to promote economic development. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ugu, NTA News.
And that's all the news from here. Taking a break now to rejoin Abuja thereafter. Please stay with us.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has urged members of the Nigerian Defense Academy 38 regular course to remain steadfast in loyalty, unity, and patriotism as they continue to contribute to national peace and security. General Musa gave the charge at an event organized by the Course 38 Association to mark its reunion, describing the gathering as more than a social platform, but a symbol of enduring bond of comradeship forged through shared experiences of military training and national service.
A duty not to only look out for one another, but also to continue to contribute ideas, experience, and initiatives that will strengthen the armed forces and advance our nation. Let us therefore use this association as a vehicle to inspire unity, foster professionalism, excellence, and mentor the younger generation of officers.
Such collaboration and cooperation is very important, especially in retirement, as it gives you an opportunity of keeping yourself together as one to encourage one another. So keeping such forum alive is a great benefit to everyone.
The CDS also paid tribute to fallen heroes, describing their service and sacrifice as a guiding light that must continue to inspire those still in uniform. He commended President Bola Tinubu for his continued support to the armed forces, assuring them that the military remains committed to ensuring peace and security. 9 Hadith memorizers will now represent Nigeria in the next edition of Mohammed VI Foundation International Hadith Competition. This is after they came tops in the second episode of the pre-selection competition for young Hadith memorizers held at the Abuja National Mosque. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
The importance of learning the Hadith, which contains the teachings and guidance of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the main objective of the Mohammed VI Foundation Hadith competition, especially for young Muslims. For a month, over 560 competitors were tested in the memorization, interpretation and usage of 40, 35 and 25 ahadith out of the 1,000 collections in 3 different categories, opened to both males and females. And after a rigorous process, organizers say the best emerged.
We started this since September, in which we did online pre-selection, and those that in that pre-selection, we have like 30 people that they passed. So those are the ones that they are competing today.
As the winners celebrate this achievement with prizes and cash rewards, they have also qualified to fly Nigeria's flag at the World Hadith Competition later in the year.
The competition is not only about memorizing the traditions of the Prophet ﷺ, but also practicing the content of the ahadith.
And from it, I was exposed to some hadiths that I don't know about before. And from it, I know many things.
Islamic scholars and guests who commended the Moroccan Foundation initiative re-emphasized the imperative of learning to practice the Sunnah of the Prophet. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA.
And it's now time for sports.
The Confederation of African Football has reaffirmed confidence in Morocco as the host nation for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, despite the recent unrest in the country. In recent days, Moroccan citizens have staged protests over government's heavy investment in sports infrastructure, which they claim is at the expense of other sectors of the economy. CAF President Patrice Motsepe assured the country's football federation that the body is solidly behind them, as Morocco is CAF Plan A, B, and C. He said CAF will continue to collaborate with Morocco government and its people to ensure a historic and successful tournament scheduled for December 21st, 2025. And from the camp of Super Eagles in South Africa, activities continue as planned, with the team's eyes fixed on the maximum 3 points at stake. More players are expected in camp, and win for the Eric Chel tutor side will boost the Eagles' chances of qualifying for the World Cup. The night match against Lesotho is scheduled for this Friday, 10th October in South Africa. Still on football, Nigeria and Argentina will rekindle football rivalry Wednesday when the Flying Eagles take on their counterpart from Argentina in one of the round of 16 matches at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile. In female football, Nigeria's Under-17 female national team, the Flamingos, departs Abuja Wednesday for the final phase of preparations ahead of the 2025 World Cup in Morocco. The team is scheduled to camp in Casablanca, where they will play 2 international friendly matches with New Zealand and Paraguay. Before moving to Rabat for the tournament, Flamingos' first match is against Canada on the 19th of October. In tennis, Naomi Osaka came from 1 set down to defeat Lila Fernandez 4-6, 7-5, 6-3 in the opening round of the Wuhan Open. With sports update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
Thank you, Olumide, and that concludes Nationwide Today. Thank you for watching.